Also, can we talk about philosophies in football? We all know about the Gegenpress, heavy metal football, which is what we see from Jurgen Klopp. But what about Arsenal? Where do they currently stand, do you feel?
I cannot tell you what identity Arsenal have right now.
And how important is that?
I just think that every club needs to have an identity of what the club's about. You know, for me in my younger days playing against Arsenal, it was always the private school boys. They always used to come with a clean shirt for the second half, you know, pampered boys. But you had the likes of Tony Adams, Martin Keown, you know, who wanted to play football. Very rugged defensively. You know, George Graham taught them how to defend. Arsene Wenger came and transformed that club in his philosophy. And it transformed English football because we've never seen a team perform like that. As good as footballers they were, when it came to getting down and dirty and rough, they could do that too. Since he let go of all those legendary players, he tried to go for this whole youth policy.
And also Barcelona light. They just tried to basically, I mean, in interviews, he said how much he admired the Barcelona style, but that's La Liga. Barcelona have got a 50% chance pretty much every year of winning the league. We've got a top 6 at the moment with arguably 2 or 3 more chasing the pack. And I don't see any massive evolution from that, you know, the Invincibles, essentially, the big characters leaving, and just kind of like
youngsters,
mobile, young,
just
good
athletic.
technically.
That's what it was, athletic players.
Nothing about that was. Today, if you're Liverpool, you've come off, you walk in the dressing room and you've had a fairly easy ride of it. Let's be perfectly honest. You haven't come off there if you're Virgil van Dijk and you've been massively tested. You're not Jordan Henderson or Gini Wijnaldum or Fabinho and thought, I've been given the run around here. You've pretty much dominated the affair from minute 1 to the last minute. That wouldn't have happened against the old Arsenal teams. And as much as we look to hark back and say, well, how good they were, they managed to get the blend and balance of technical excellence with addressing the issues of the Premier League, which are still there. Yeah. You still have to have characters, leadership, physicality.
That grit, and just knowing what it means to play for that club. That's what it is. I think now it's too easy. You offer most players from around the world, oh, come play for Arsenal. They'll take it in a heartbeat. Premier League, London club, and they're not going to be bothered about actually what it means to play for Arsenal.
Not a great deal of expectation
It's just the fact of, I'm at Arsenal. I can use that on my resume.
So that then comes down to Unai Emery having to instill that into the club and the recruitment at Arsenal, which hasn't been great for the last few years.
Do you think his hands are partially tied by the fact that, you know, this kind of like, I mean, they talked about £45 million they had, which was rubbish because obviously they got Pepe.
Spent over 70 on Pepe.
But David Luiz, that's not setting a particularly good example in terms of selling a future. If that's what you've got to work with, if I'm Unai Emery, I'm saying Manchester United have bought Harry Maguire, Liverpool have bought Virgil van Dijk. I've got David Luiz. If David Luiz has cost them today, again.
But isn't that a question of his recruitment? He spent a lot of money himself.
I think
Arsenal's
recruitment has been questioned from a long time ago, and again, it's coming from that Arsene Wenger period and generation. We're going to bring you through. We're going to sell youth. We're going to do this. They lost identity. I know players that played at Arsenal, top level players, I won't name, but they saw a period of time when they used to say to me, "You should be coming to Arsenal. Want you at Arsenal? We need someone like you, character and determination." They saw Arsenal going on the slide. Why they didn't have that determination, that grit. A lot of the foreign players that used to come to Arsenal because of the Britishness, the Englishness of knowing what it means to play for that club. When you used to have the likes of like a Tony Adams or Ashley Cole, that determination, that's what brought them there, the real character. And there's always that respect there where they could say, you should be at our club because it's someone like you we need. But obviously Arsene Wenger was going further and further away from it. And it doesn't help with the owners that they have. The owners do not really buy into what it means to own a British football club.
I've got a question for both of you, for Gary. Is the one player in that Arsenal team at their very best gets in that Liverpool team or anywhere near it? I suggest not.
Not one, not from today's performances.
Probably not. You know, maybe Pepe does become. You know,
but it does become. I'm talking
but
today.
At this precise moment in time, no. And I said, didn't I, when we first came back off the game, you know, last season, 27 points Arsenal were behind Liverpool. Arsenal spent quite big. Are they any closer? And I don't think so on that evidence.
I would love to hear what Arsenal fans think. I would love to see what they believe the identity of their club is right now.
I don't see it. I just see it as kind of like a Barcelona, like a record that stuck.